Let me start actually by looking at a brief bio of Pascal. He was a man of reason, which is weird because history shows him to us to be a man of faith. But Pascal was really, really brilliant. He was a child prodigy. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, he was a genius. So first of all, he died very young at age 39. He had an illness that he went through throughout all of his life. Um, and they even had an autopsy after his death. People don't really know what exactly he had. He did at one point have a brain lesion, so that could have contributed to his death. Maybe some have speculated it could be tuberculosis, but he was ill throughout his whole life. He died at age 39. One thing you should know that he was educated. He was homeschooled. So here's for all you people who are homeschooled. It's possible that you can be really brilliant and be homeschooled, but he had no formal education whatsoever. He also never held a formal academic position in any university under any discipline whatsoever, whether it be philosophy, for which he's remembered, or mathematics or physics, which he contributed greatly. Actually, he wrote a book that would be used in primary schools all around France for several decades, if not hundreds of years later, as like the beginning elementary textbook on geometry. So like I said, he was a child prodigy. He was educated, homeschooled by his father. His mother died when he was very young. His father was a noble, so that could have contributed to why, of course, he never had to get an academic position. He just kind of lived off his father's inheritance after a while. Although I forget what year his father died. I was thinking it was around his 20s or 30s. Pascal only lived to 39, so he was relatively young that his father died. But as he was young, his father was a noble. He home educated him, but his father also he was a bit of an amateur mathematician. He was a tax collector and a local judge in France, in Rouen, France. And Etienne was his father's name. Etienne never remarried after his wife passed away, Blaise Pascal's mother. So he decided he would educate his children. The young Blaise Pascal showed an extraordinary intellectual ability with an amazing aptitude for mathematics and science. I mean, this kid, first of all, his father tried to keep him away from mathematics. I don't know why, but by the age of 12, Pascal, the younger one, had rediscovered on his own, using charcoal on a tile floor, Euclid's first 32 geometric propositions at age 12, guys. And so Etienne conceded, and he's like, okay, you can have a copy of Euclid's Elements and Euclid's Geometry. But just a quick rundown of like Pascal's life. At age 16, he wrote a significant treatise on the subject of projective geometry, a field he invented, and conic sections. At age 19, he invented the mechanical calculator. He is considered one of the first of two inventors of the mechanical calculators. You have him to thank for that. You're welcome. All those little calculator apps and all your math throughout high school, junior high, and college. Thank you, Pascal. Like I said, he was a mathematician, but he also by age 24, he made important contributions in physics with respect to the study of fluids. He clarified the concepts of pressure and vacuum. He corresponded with and helped to generalize the work of Evangelista Torricelli. Pascal also wrote in defense of the scientific method. So now we're in his 20s, but at age 31, Pascal corresponded with Pierre de Fermat, is a Fermat or Fermat, depending on how you want to pronounce that. But he's known as very, very famous mathematician, and he corresponded with him on probability theory. Which strongly influenced the fields of modern economics and social sciences, and that collaboration with Fermat helped to lay the important groundwork for Leibniz to come later and invent calculus. So, and then if that wasn't enough, by age 38, right before he died at age 39, Pascal invented a form of public transportation, y'all, in the 1660s. So Paris actually established this, initiated it, and made it. It was like drawn by by rails and horses and so on, horse-drawn, but he's known as the father of public transportation as well. So he's got other mathematical ideas named after him, like the Pascal's triangle and so on. But I mention all this because he was not a slouch when it came to reason, when it came to mathematics, when it came to probability in particular, which is what you'll see in Pascal's wager. It's actually a probability decision matrix. So but that was a quick rundown of his life, with respect to mathematics, science, and so on. But let me now plug in the things with his religious life, because although I'm separating these need to be seen as interwoven. Okay, so in 19, all right. It's really funny to me, by the way, when I have students and my own son talk to me about the 1900s. You're right. I was born in, the 1900s, and I was born in the 20th century, and they'll refer to like that last century. It's really funny, but we're not referring to that one right now. We're talking about the 1646 in particular. Pascal so he would have been in his 20s, about 23 at this time. He had what most people refer to as a first conversion, but he quickly fell away from this into like a worldly period, which lasted, I don't know, about 8 years or so, where he just didn't really take his faith seriously. And so this wasn't until 1655 that he underwent a deepening of conversion. And what a way to do it. He underwent an intense religious experience